Alright, so my plan today is to swap these 6-ply 13-inch trailer tires with these 10-ply 15-inch tires. These are bigger tires, obviously, than these 13-inch tires, so I might have to modify or move the fender up, and the spare tire mount, I might have to actually move it, and if I move it, I'm going to put it on the other side, which I should have done in the first place, because of normally you put the shore power on the driver's side, or so it seems. So that's what I'm doing today, and then I'm going to also install a pass-through, whether it be a door or a sliding door on the inside, to gain access to where I keep my power station, which is in the back on the shelf. So my first order of business is to install these new tires and see the clearance that I have between the fenders and the new tires. I did, of course, measure the clearance before I bought the tires, but you don't really know until you get them installed, and I know it's going to be close, so I might have to modify, like I said earlier. Another issue that I have is this right here. These top rails, I might have to cut them down a little bit, the very tops, because I only have about 2-inch clearance going out of the garage door. I hope I don't have to, but if I do, I will. So now I'm going to put the tires on. Alright, so I have kind of an issue going on here. This tire is a lot wider, and then the rim goes in just a little bit more than the smaller 13-inch tire that I took off, and so it's rubbing on the inside. So I have a solution. I actually went and bought some spacers. The spacers, and I'll show you how to install them. I bought the rims were used, and but the tires are new, so I don't know, whenever you're doing this kind of modification, sometimes you run into this type of issue, and or unforeseen issue, and you just try to figure out a solution. That's what I'm doing. All right, there's the issue right there. But I think I can put the spacers on and bring it out enough to where it's not an issue. We'll see. All right, so here's the spacers that I have. It's the thread pattern is 5 by 4 3/4, and these are 1/4 inch thick. So I'm supposedly, from what the internet says, you can stick 2 of these together on like a camper trailer like this, but it's not advised on a passenger car. So it's a pretty simple concept. You just put these on, and then you put the tire on. I'll probably need 2, but I'm going to try to get away with 1 for now. Nope, it's going to be 2. I don't think it's going to work yet. So after trying to make the tires work by adding both spacers and still not being enough clearance, the only solution that I could find was to order new wheels. And so that's what I did. So I had to wait a week. It may not look like it, but I'm like 4 days older than the last clip. But anyway, so they came in yesterday, and here they are. It was a good lesson that I learned. I don't know that much about tires. I've never really actually cared to invest too much thought into buying tires. So what I learned about tires and rims, or tires and wheels, is that this right here is called a zero offset tire. And what that means is that where this bolts onto the hub, it's roughly around the center of the tire. So it allows more room on the inside. And the rims that I had, or wheels that I had, was trying to put on that didn't work, or what they called a positive offset. And that means that this, where it bolts on, was more on the outer part. So now I'm going to install these wheels and tires and see what kind of clearances we have with the fender in the back of the frame. So join me. All right, so here we go. I'm getting ready to put this tire on, and my hope is that I don't have to adjust these fenders, but I'm thinking that that might be wishful thinking. But if I do, I do, and that's just the way it goes. So here we go. Fingers crossed there's enough clearance and that I don't have to use those spacers. I don't think I will. I think this is gonna work out just perfect. Oh yeah. But the true test will be when I put it down to see how much clearance I have left over, because you know I want to take into consideration any kind of bounce or whatever. But I won't make you watch me tighten all these lugs down, so I'll see you after I get these lugs tightened. So please stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right, here goes the test. So let this op down and we'll see how much room we have. Hopefully it's, oh yeah. We got lots of room. I don't have to move the fenders, nor do I have to add any of the spacers. So that's a good thing. Cool. And they look beautiful. All right, I need your help. I'm gonna put you on top of the roof, and I want you to let me know if the tops of the racks clear the top of the garage door. And here are the top of the racks that I'm talking about. Those bad boys right there. I'm gonna get in front of the trailer once you're on top watching, and then I'm gonna push it out. And so just yell or let me know if it's gonna hit. All right, I appreciate it, thanks. All right, here we go. Well, cool, it cleared. So it just about destroyed my camera, but it did clear, so thank you. Thanks for watching out and letting me know. Appreciate it. All right, so now I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the camper with the new tires on. I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the way they look, and there's plenty of clearance. So everything's cool, and I don't have to modify the fenders. That's a good thing. Next, moving on to the pass-through for the power station. All right, so my next step is to make the pass-through to have access to my power station, which is in the back here from the front sleeping area. So this is my power station and the location that I would like to keep it. So I'm wanting to put an access door so I can gain access to have the ability to turn the power on or off while I'm still inside the camper. So the access pass-through door is going to be somewhere around through here, and I'm going to make it slide to the right. The reason why I want it to slide is because it's just easier when I'm laying here and I can just slide the door to the right and then just reach through and shut the power station off. It's a little bit more work that's involved with making the guides that the door is going to slide on, but at the end of the day, it's just going to be lots more effective as far as saving space instead of having to open this door and move your head to get it out of the way and everything. So a sliding door is what I've decided to do. All right, my first order of business is to actually get the power station out of the way and anything else that might be in the way. And all right. So this is a piece of scrap wood. I believe it's 3/8. It's actually left over from the build. And I think it's going to be big enough. I don't need the door to be very too big. So it's going to be roughly right here. So I'm just going to simply find where I want the location, and I want to make a mark. Next, I'm just going to take a drill, and I'm going to drill the 4 corners, and that way it will allow me to be able to see on the inside where the location of the access panel is going to be. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. So the next step, since I have the holes drilled, there's 4 holes right here. I'm just going to use a 3-foot level, or 2-foot level, excuse me, and set them in place along, line them up with the holes, and just draw a line. The tool that I'm going to be using to cut this access panel out is a little jigsaw, and I used a pretty small hole to drill as my reference points to make my marks. You can use a bigger hole if you don't have much experience with using a jigsaw or power tools, because if you drill a bigger hole, you can just put the blade in the hole and start your cut. But you can also, if you don't drill a bigger hole, you can I always start my jigsaw kind of leaning, setting up on the wood right here, and then I just start cutting, and then I slowly bring it down, and once I get my blade through, I can go ahead and finish the cut. So and another thing too is, since it's in an enclosed area, I'm going to put some hearing protection on, because this little jigsaw is pretty loud. All right. Oh wow, look what I found. A book, A Guide to Cultivating Optimism, written by me. If you want to find your own copy, go down to the description and click on the link, and you can get your own copy. Thanks for your support. So I'd like to add something that not to do, and what you don't want to do is what you saw me taking the board that I was going to use and laying it up and marking on the outside corner. You don't want to do that, because when you cut the hole, this is going to be the exact same size as the hole, and you want the hole to be smaller than the door. So that's a big no-no. And but luckily I have other scrap material laying around that I can use. If you didn't have a bunch of scrap material and you were limited to finances or whatever, or it was a rare piece that you had to order, it would be a big screw up. So try to avoid that. So whenever you're cutting an access panel, the door is going to be bigger than the hole. I know better, but we still screw up every once in a while. But anyway, luckily I have this piece. So my plan with this door, like I said earlier, is to use just all scrap material, because I have a bunch of scrap wood laying around. And so how this is going to work is I'm thinking that I'm going to take this piece, and there's going to be a piece like this on the bottom that the door is going to sit on, and there's going to be a piece on the top, and this piece is going to be twice as long, and it's going to have a stop on the end, so it's going to slide to the right on this, and then it will have another piece that's going to stop it. If I don't have enough of this material, I do have a bunch of the other material that's scrap material that I can use. And so the idea is so this is going to sit on here. There's going to be a piece on the low part, and then a piece on the top, and then a stop. And then once that's established, I'll put another piece like this to hold it, to keep it from falling out. And it will be on the bottom and top. And so you'll see once I get it going, it will all make sense. So for the people out there who have never done this type of work, I wanted to show you quickly how I get the screw heads to be flush in the wood. So I have an assortment of these tips that fit on my drill, and I can bevel the hole, the top of the hole, once I have the hole drilled. I'll show you a closer view of these. So here are the tips. There's a various assortment of sizes that you can buy, and these are just used after you have the hole already drilled. But if you're in a time crunch and efficiency is your key, then you can use these, and these have the drill obviously, and you drill through and then just keep going, and that little piece right here on this end will actually bevel the head. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just put it in your little drill. And you just drill in here. Alright, here we go. So I'm going to take my door and kind of center it right here. And I'll try to keep my arms out of the way. And then I'm just going to simply take my bottom piece that this is going to ride on and drill it right there. Oh, actually I should probably should make sure that that's level. There we go, right there. Close enough. Alright, so now with the top piece, I'm going to put it up here. Make sure it's going to slide good. And screw it into place. Alright, so we got enough clearance, so keep it right there. I want it to be kind of tight. Alright, so I went ahead and installed the end stops on both ends. And my next move is to put these up in order to hold this door into place. And it's simply just the same pieces of wood, same diameter, cut same. And I just set it up here. And then this is going to go on the top here, just like this. Alright, just like that. I should loosen these up just a little bit. Alright, so next is to make some handles. Alright, so next I'm going to install a handle, and I don't want a handle that's going to stick out because I like to sit up and read when we're camping out. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use a Forstner bit, and this is what it looks like, and it just basically cuts a flush bottom hole. And so here we go. And I don't need it very deep, so I'll probably put 2 of them in there. One on this end too. Alright. Just enough to get a hold of it and to open it to where I can get access. So I think this is going to work out great. Just need to work this and let it wear in. Alright, so that's the pass-through door. So if you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing to see more content like this in the future. And thanks for watching. Have a good one. See you next time.